Alright, so this is day 3. I'm going to start the second calibration test. The good news is that the yesterday mishaps, which I still didn't figure out what caused it, was it my fault or just some inconsistency on the AMU, but this morning it seemed like working fine. It started all over again, so there must be a timer. It's sensitive and intelligent enough to figure out that, okay, the yesterday's test and today's test, enough time passed that it's a new calibration. Though in the menu it wasn't clear until I started it, and when I pressed the button it was number 1 step, so that's good. So the difference is today I actually put there the values, and it's quite a lot of difference between 6.1 and 7.8, so doing the math in my mind, it's already more than 15%, that's for sure. It's more than 20%, maybe 25%, but we'll do an exact calculation. Nonetheless, let's see what happens in the next 4 hours. Obviously I had my fasting. My last food intake was yesterday, last night. I wasn't proud of myself about that, but nonetheless there is plenty of time passed. With AMU is only 4 hours required, and we're going to follow the step number 2, meal intake, and follow right after that with 5 measurements with AMU, but no blood test needed on the second step. So let's see the progress. Alright, so the next measurement, the step number 3, is 30 minutes after meal. So because I managed to make my meal time exactly half hour, so try to keep everything on the hour for the purpose of simplicity, and as I stated before, in 4 hour time, which the entire calibration time period is, many things can come in and throw us off. So using only a timer may or may not be the best thing to do. So I'm updating here to show, what is it, 10:30, and it tells me to do it now. So 10:30. And I already did the blood as I started. Let's see, that was 11.3, 11.3, and now the AMU. I was thinking to write down the values, but I don't think it's really relevant because it's a calibration. So really, we don't know how the calibration part works, and we don't need to know. All we have to do is do these 30 plus measurements, and that's pretty much to it. I mean, personally, I do have an interest in the inner workings of the technology and the software, but I don't think most people would care. So I'm doing this test. How many tests are we doing? Another 5. Yeah. After that, it's going to be 7 sometimes. Yeah, a couple of times we have to do 7 measurements. I'm just looking at okay, so we have the 30 minutes after, then 60 minutes, 120 and 180. Those are the steps, and because both of my fingers right now, both of my hands is tied to the machine, I can't scroll my page here, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I really like this device. It's definitely a game changer. I already wrote a blog article this morning that why do we measure? What is really the value here? And the biggest value is the instant feedback based upon and enough data. Oh, if I put it there, why do I put it here to 10.0, sure. Update data. Oh, oh, now this is the time it's asking for the input. So it's a little square that comes up. I wish I could just show it to the camera here instead of me discussing that, but it's a cheap camera, so I don't know if it picks it up good. Yeah, so there comes a little square with a flashing cursor in it, and by clicking in there it activates the keyboard. So now the keyboard is there, it appears. Sorry guys for the less than professional video creation, but that's the best I can do. I think the value of the information will make up for it. So I'm putting in 11.3 based upon my blood test. Okay, hit another test. That means I'm going to be speaking to you at least for 1 more minute, and then I stop it. So why do we measure? Because the more data we have available, the better and more accurately we can adjust our food intake, the timing of it, the kind of food we eat, the exercise, and whatever else we have to do to bring down the blood sugar value. And listening to another school of thought, it's really not the blood sugar value, but the amount of insulin. Now, I'm not sure if I'm buying that, because the insulin comes in for the purpose of putting the sugar into the cells. So it opens up the receptors on the cells and have the sugar go in. And that's the sole reason of the insulin as far as I know. Now, which one is to be targeted, bringing down the blood sugar or bringing down the insulin? I mean, that's like asking which, it's asking which wing of an aeroplane is more important as far as I'm concerned. But maybe they know more than I do. So anyhow, let's finish this recording for step number 3, because I still have to do a few more, but that's it for now.